Hello guys, welcome to this video. In the past few days, it has been business unusual in most public hospitals. We have seen our doctors going on strike. People have been infuriated and most are very angry, especially at what is happening at the moment. So it has become the politics of blame games, with some politicians coming up and telling the health CS to resign.
We want to say that Kenyans are suffering. You go to any public hospital, you find people are not being attended to, doctors are on strike, and people are dying. There are emergencies on a daily basis. You see accidents on our roads. Nobody can be attended to in hospitals. We have our mothers who are expectant, who are supposed to deliver. Nobody is attending to them. We have different situations in different hospitals, and nobody is attending to them. And therefore, the situation is so bad, and we must fight this. And we as members of parliament, we are also in agreement that should the government refuse to listen to the doctors' plight, we will also join them on the maandamanos. We will be with them on the streets to ensure that they demand that which is rightfully theirs. And we want to put pressure on the government so that our people don't suffer on the ground. We don't want the government to demand. You must come with the rule of equals and opposites. Number one, invite, do not demand. So when the government is demanding that doctors must go back, what are they trying to do? And number two, when you push, we means the KMPDU, doctors and members of parliament, when you push as the government, we will push. When you pull, we will resist. When you demand, we will refuse. And when you insist, we will turn you down. We want this defunct government to move with speed. The president should not leave the country when there's a serious crisis, when people are dying. The health ministry is unhealthy. The health ministry is sick. The country is sick. And therefore, as a result of that, we have come up with an impeachment motion. We are going back on Tuesday to Parliament. And this is the letter that we've sent to the clerk of the National Assembly so far on an impeachment motion that we want to impeach the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Nakhumicha, and we want her to continue staying at the funerals where she's enjoying staying instead of meeting the doctors and doing her job. So the letter reads, notice of motion, the removal of the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Health, Susan Nakhumicha. Pursuant to Article 152(6) of the Constitution, as read with Standing Order 66, I wish to notify you of the intention to move a special motion for removal of the Cabinet Secretary for Health from office on two grounds. Namely, number one, gross violation of Articles 26(1) and 43(1)(a) of the Constitution, which provides for the right to the highest attainable standard of health respectively. And two, incompetence. The Cabinet Secretary, the above grounds are based on the following particulars. The Cabinet Secretary has failed to appreciate the seriousness of the strike and has failed to provide a lasting solution to settle the demands of the medics, including hiring of trainee doctors and payment of salary arrears. Number two, the CS failed to avert the doctors' strike, which has now entered its third week. Those are 21 days. The CS has instead taken a hard line and is instead threatening the striking doctors with immediate sacking and replacement. And therefore, we shall disappoint her and we want the president to appoint somebody else. Number three, as a result of the doctor strike, scores of Kenyans have been unable to access medical care, and in dire cases, some Kenyans have lost their lives. I will be moving this motion and seek the resolution of the House to require His Excellency the President to dismiss the Cabinet Secretary from office. We have attached the necessary evidence in support of the allegation.
Babu Owino is blaming the health CS for alleged corruption and misconduct that is leading to all of these types of problems that we are currently experiencing within the health sector. So what kind of problem are we experiencing in the health sector? It is just the history repeating itself. Year upon years, we have seen our doctors go to the streets to demand for their civil rights. They want their lives to be better. They want to have an increment in salary. This coming few days after the President William Ruto made the house levy law by force. So we can understand that these are the consequences of heavy taxation. Of course, they result in creating these kinds of scandals and these kinds of problems. It becomes very, very difficult to run a country, especially when doctors are on strike. Doctors are one of the most important ingredients of a working society. Right now, Kenyans that cannot afford healthcare, especially Kenyans that cannot be able to go to private facilities and get treated, right now they are surviving at the mercies of God. It is very, very bad, especially when doctors are striking. Many poor people are dying because most poor people, especially those who live with terrible diseases or those who are too old and have medical complications, most of them have to face very, very difficult times, because with doctors not working, it is very, very bad. So of course, most poor people are suffering. Most poor people are the ones to bear the costs of these kinds of activities. The leagues or the classes of people that have enough financial resources do not even visit public hospitals. So actually the Wanjiko is the one that is suffering. We remember the former president coming up with plans to have universal health care in the country. Right now, Kenyans cannot access that health care because the doctors that are supposed to offer it to them are on strike. So I think it is time as a country that we really ask ourselves some questions. One of the things that keeps repeating itself over and over again are promises, empty promises. From time to time, we have seen the government call out the doctors on strike and gives them some false promises. So when these false promises cannot be fulfilled, what comes out of it is bitterness and frustration. So the doctors feel shortchanged, and they feel that the only avenue that can hear their cry, or the only way to make their voices be heard, to make their plight be felt, is to down the tools and make the country suffer the consequences of lack of doctors. So it is a very difficult situation, especially for the country as we speak. So basically what the government should do, it should drop the bullish strategies and the forceful strategies of threatening to sack doctors, because it will never work. Why will it not work? Simply because a man that goes to work because he feels he has no other choice but to do that will end up delivering very poor services. This is simply because they are not working from their heart. They are simply looking for a remuneration and more money, or they are simply avoiding the consequences of not following the rules. So I think it's about time that the government listens to the doctors with a mature ear in a bid to find a settlement that will really help the Kenyans that really need healthcare at the moment. get the healthcare that they need, so that we can continually keep developing the country. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share.